Welcome to the Accounting Guys YouTube channel. My name is Blake, and today I'll be talking about miscellaneous receipts and paidouts and how best to use them and in what situations you should be using them. Today's trainer will be Brian, and he'll go over some of the best practices he's found to make sure they're not causing any errors in your system and you're using both of these tools to the fullest capabilities. I hope you enjoy.
Miscellaneous receipts is an area that a lot of dealers have trouble with because it will put things into a clearing account and just continue to post entries into clearing accounts. And if people aren't using them properly, then it's difficult to know what to do with that money sitting in the clearing account. And paidouts can be used often by dealers as well, where it can go into a clearing account, or they don't understand what it's actually doing in the paid out. And so we're going to go through both of those. Why do we have miscellaneous receipts? Inside of Lightspeed, you're going to have different sales when you sell a part, when you do labor, when you have a unit for sale and whatnot. But if you're receiving money that the sale has already been processed within one of these menus, that's typically when you're going to find yourself using a miscellaneous receipt. Or you have somebody from the cashiering side receiving in a payment, they don't have access to accounts receivable to be able to adjust that balance. So let's go into miscellaneous receipts. So again, under parts, cashiering, miscellaneous receipt. In here, you're going to put in the date for the transaction, the dollar amount, and the description. Now, this is a key piece that I want you to pay close attention to. You have a description here, and you have notes down at the bottom. This description piece, that's going to actually show up inside of the GL account on the description line. And so this is where you want to put key information: sales deal numbers, repair order numbers, customer names, what is the item that you're receiving paying for, what is it supposed to be applied to, and that's the line you want to put it in. Additional notes that you think might be useful can go into this notes box down here, but you really want to use this description field. After description, we've got the method of payment options that you can choose here. So we've got all of the different method payment types inside of Lightspeed. For the most part, you will be only using this for cash and check. You might have some cards in here as well, where you say, okay, I got a check, and we'll say this one is for $500. And then you say my receipt type. How am I applying this? So if you have it on accounts receivable, then you choose a customer by hitting this little search binocular button, and you can find the customer and then apply it to their account. Or if you're not sure where this is supposed to go, then you would say miscellaneous receipt. And that again is going to put that into that clearing account for the accountant to then go in and move it to the proper location afterwards. And again, if you don't have a description, I'm just going to leave this blank just so you can see what happens. We're going to cashier this. Okay, now that we've cashiered that, we're going to go look into the clearing account where it posted our entry. Here you can see this $500 item, and you can see the description is blank. It just says miscellaneous receipt. If I click on this link, there's no helpful information on here. So here again, the description is blank. On the bottom down here is where you can put in that note field, and it will show up on the bottom, but it won't show you in the GL like we see up here above where it says received warranty claim. You might have a deal number again, a repair order number, something in there. So let's talk about a different type of miscellaneous receipt. So you might have a check you get every single month for rent or for a different item that you're not selling through one of these options up here, that you know where it needs to go there every time. That's when you're going to create a new miscellaneous receipt type, again under system, lists, miscellaneous receipts, and you would give it a name and give it the GL account that you would like it to be assigned to. And it will just direct that there each time that receipt is taken. One thing to make sure that you understand about miscellaneous receipts is it is just a way to receive money into the company that is different from these modules. And these modules up here along the top with part, service, sales, and rental, that's going to be what is included in your sales tax reporting. This miscellaneous receipt that we just did for $500, it's going to be excluded. So if you have rental revenue that you're receiving and you're doing this every single month, you need to make sure you keep that in mind, that you need to add that in to your sales tax reports in order to be able to do the full filing. One more quick tip I want to talk about with miscellaneous receipts and paidouts is specific to these clearing accounts. It's suggested that each day the accountant go through all of the clearing accounts and make sure it's returning to zero, because you'll find other people have used that miscellaneous receipt type or miscellaneous paid out type, And it's easier to clear that out each day because people remember what's going into those buckets. Now, you don't have to use a miscellaneous receipt to receive money into the company. You can, if it's an accounts receivable, for example, you can do a memo in order to receive that money into the company. Okay, so now we're going to talk about paid outs. So let's say you brought in $1,000 of cash during the day and you had a really good sales day. You're wanting to buy the employees lunch for the day. Some dealerships will take money out of the till and then they will go and buy that lunch and in order to have that little spiff reward for their employees. We suggest against that, where you're not actually using cash for anything, but Lightspeed does have the ability to do that, and that's through a paid out. So it's in the same place as a miscellaneous receipt, where you go to parts, cashiering, and paid out. And you'll notice it's very similar to that other screen. So method of payment is how did we pay out the money, and then you have your paid out type for where you want it to adjust. With a paid out, again, it's not something we suggest that you're buying things in cash. And with the paid out, your most common method of payment, again, is going to be that cash, where you're pulling it out of the register. That will decrease the amount that saying is calculated inside of your bank deposit screen because it's removing that cash from the till. And then you can apply it to a different account. You can also, if, for example, that pizza scenario where we're buying lunch for our employees, you could make a paid out type for meals where it will automatically go into that expense account. Again, it would be better to create an invoice for that and pay that with a card or with a check. Anytime dealing with cash, you want to kind of stay away from that. But you are able to take cash right out of the register and make an adjustment here. That's what this paid out is used for. The mapping behind it is very similar to miscellaneous receipts. You go to System, Lists, and Paid Out Types, and then create a new one, choose a GL account that you want to associate it with, and that's where it will put those entries as well. Something that we see a lot of dealers do that it just creates an extra step in their work is they're using miscellaneous receipts or they're using paid outs in order to correct the method of payment that was put on the sale up in one of these menu options during their bank deposit process. And just as a reminder, when we go into this bank deposit field here, we'll create a deposit and they'll have like this $500 check here, but it wasn't really check, it was cash. Or down here, there'll be an amount, and they'll be using miscellaneous receipts or paid out to shift the dollars between these different boxes. But that's an unneeded step. That's not necessary. The purpose of this bank deposit is it's a batching method, and you can go to our other video to explain it more into depth. But so in this bank deposit, we can see that there's $500 of check, and then you've got zero in cash. But let's say that when we ran our report, we found, oh, this is actually cash instead of a check. In here, you can just put the $500 in the proper method of payment, and that will put it into the correct GL account, and it will have a wash inside of cash over short for that adjustment. So that can save you some extra steps and heartache there with not having to use that miscellaneous receipt and paid out type. Well, that's it for miscellaneous receipts and paid outs. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and let us know if there's other videos you would like us to do. Also, feel free to reach out to us via phone or email, and we'd love to be able to help you.